Do you want to unlock full potential of Microsoft Word and create professional looking documents with ease? You are in the right place. In this tutorial, we are going to hold you by the hand and guide you through the essentials of Microsoft Word, from the basics to advanced features. By the end of this tutorial, you will be confidently creating and editing documents like a pro. Hi, my name is Pat from Primevox Academy. Let's get started. The very first thing we are going to learn is how to launch Microsoft Word. There are different ways of launching Microsoft Word. For example, if you have the icon, just like we have other icons here, you can just double click on any of them in order to launch. But since we do not have the icon here, we are going to go through the start menu. So if I click on start menu now, you will see where Microsoft Word is. It is here because I have pinned it. Otherwise, you can click on all apps and scroll down to where Microsoft Word is listed. You can see it from here. So all you need to do is to click in order to launch it. You wait for Microsoft Word to launch. I would like to maximize it here. Then it will prompt you to this particular environment for you to choose any template of your choice. You can choose from these templates, or you select a blank template. Again, if you have something you have been working before, you will see all the recent documents listed here. For now, I am going to choose a blank document. So this is how to launch Microsoft Word. Now that we have launched Microsoft Word, the next lesson we are going to take is the overview of Microsoft Word interface. If you look at this place, you will see that we are using Office 2021. Here, you can see the file menu. Here is called the menu bar, where we have file, home, insert, draw. If you have been using Microsoft Word, you will notice that there was no draw tab. It is now here because we are introducing you to Office 2021. We also have design, layout, references, mailing, review, view, and help. We'll be taking them one after another. So this is known as menu bar. After menu bar, we also have tools bar. All these bars where we have undo, copy, cut, and paste. We are going to show you how to use them one after another. Then the next one we have here is the ruler. We have the horizontal ruler and the vertical ruler here. After that, we then have the scroll bar. If you want to scroll your page up or down, you can use this scroll bar. You can also use the button, okay, if you don't want to use the bar. Then we also have text area. You can call this white place a text area or a document area. And when you are typing, we also have what we call the status bar that shows the number of words you have typed, the number of pages you are using, and all of that. And you can also use this zoom button to zoom in or zoom out, depending on your view or how you would like to set your view. Normally, I like using 100%, okay? The next thing we are going to learn is typing in MS Word documents. Typing in MS Word documents is as simple as typing in typewriter. You remember manual typewriter? So the keyboard is arranged in what we call QWERTY, okay? And we have the home key as ASDF and so on. So if you want to type, you will just have to press the computer keys, and whatever you are pressing will begin to come out as you type. Again, if you want to access capital letters, we'll have a key known as caps lock. Once you enable the caps lock, whatever you are typing will now be in capital letters. But then, if only what you want is initial cap, you want only the first letter to be capital, then others small letter, what you will need to do is to remove the caps lock. Once it is off, you will now hold down the shift key. When the shift key is down, whatever you type is in capital, and when you release the shift key, other things you are going to type will be in small letter. I hope you understand. Now, after typing in a particular line, if you want to move to the next line, you will press the enter key. The enter key will move your cursor to the next line. The cursor is this blinking feature we have here. Why this one that is moving as I move the mouse is known as mouse pointer. Now, let me pause this video and create a document that we are going to use for this tutorial. I am done typing my document. The next thing we are going to learn after typing this document is how to save a document. You know, after typing, you will need to save your document so that you will be able to access and make use of it in the future. If you do not save it, it means that you are going to be typing your document all over again. Since this is not a typewriter but a computer, we will need to save our documents so that we can make use of them in the future. How do you save your documents? There are different ways to save. I am going to show them to you one after another. The very first method is to go to File menu. From File menu, you then click on Save As. At this moment, because this is just a fresh document, either save or save as will do the same thing. Please follow me. So once I click on Save As, it will now ask me to choose the destination where I want to save this document. So for this, I am going to browse. You can decide to save inside OneDrive. OneDrive is a cloud storage location. You can also save within this computer or you save in any other place. For now, I will choose Browse. Once I choose Browse, I will locate the folder where I want to save. I want to save in this folder called Ready. The next thing I am going to do now is to give this file a name. So I am going to name it MS Word Practice 1. Remember, I am saving it as MS Word documents. Do not worry, I will show you other types that you can use to save your documents. Now, I'll click on this save button. Once I save it, it will show me this name here, meaning that I have successfully saved this document. So, if you are using the national grid, like there is outage of power in the device you are using, you are not going to lose this document because it has been saved. You can retrieve it at any time. But before I show you how to retrieve or open a saved file, let me also show you another way of saving file. You can just press Ctrl S from your keyboard and it will also take you to save. This button here is also used for save. Remember, this is when you must have saved for the first time and you now want to update. Like if I add something new, let's assume I added something here, share and like. If there is cut in power supply, this last line is not going to be saved. So what do I need to do? I'll have to press Ctrl S from the keyboard or I'll just click save here. I hope you understand. Now let's get to the next lesson, which is opening and retrieving a file. When you have already saved file and you want to open it, this is the step you should take. For us to do this, I will have to close this. I can just close the entire Word document, or I will close only this particular document by going to File, then click on the Close button. You remember, we only had this St. Anthony document. Now we have another document and it was created 2 minutes ago. Okay, now let me close it. So the file is closed. Or if you want, I can close everything together so that you will learn the process again. So if I close it now, it returns us to this desktop screen. If you don't understand the meaning of this desktop screen or you are new to Windows, I have a video that teaches Windows 11. You can find it in description box or from the card, of course, after watching this one. So if I go back and open Microsoft Word, I can navigate using this recent document to open the file. If I don't want to use this, in case it is not listed here as a recent document, I will just go to blank documents, or you go to open in order to open documents, assuming that I'm already in a blank document. So what I will now do is to go to file. From file menu, I will click on open. From this open, I will go to browse. We are just assuming that it's not listed here as recent document. I will go to browse, then locate the folder where it is saved. So this folder is ready. That's the name of the folder. Then select the file and then click open. Immediately you do that, it will open that document for you. I hope it is easy and simple. So that is how to open a saved file. Remember that I say that if you already have it as a recent document, let me close. You can just go to file and click on it and it will open for you. Okay. Now, the next lesson we are going to learn is copy, cut, and paste. While working with Microsoft Word documents, you do not need to repeat yourself. Like if you have a particular text that you would like to type again, you don't need to suffer yourself or take pains in order to type it again. All you will need to do is to do copy and paste. So how do you do copy and paste? First, you will highlight the text. This is how to highlight. How do you highlight? Just move the mouse pointer to where you want to start. Immediately, it will change to this eye. Do you see that? Once it changes to this, you press the mouse button, hold down the button and drag. Once it gets to where you want to stop, you release the mouse button. From there, you can now go to copy. Here is copy. You can see. And the shortcut key for copy is Ctrl+C. That is, when you hold down the Control key or the Command key if you are using iOS, then you press C. Or you can just click it here. Once you do that, you now go to the next location by placing your cursor where you want it to appear. Once your cursor is there, you click on paste or Ctrl+V. Ctrl+V is for paste. Once I do that, it will duplicate this text from here to here. Remember what I said, it will duplicate. Okay, that is exactly what copy does. It duplicates. If you want to move a text entirely from one location to another, you use cut and paste. You don't use copy and paste for that. Okay, so let us practicalize that. So if I highlight this now, press cut, I can go to cut here or do Ctrl+X. Let me use shortcut key, Ctrl+X. Can you see? It's already out of that place. Then you move the cursor to the next location, then do Ctrl+V. It will just paste it by moving it from the initial location to another. I hope you understand. If you have any confusion or anything you would like me to teach further or explain further, you can drop them in the comment section. Now, the last lesson we are going to take in this session is undo and redo. Take for instance, you are working on a document and you made a mistake. If you want to return to the last state where you were, what you will need to do is to use undo function. How do you do that? Remember this share and like was here. If I want it to return to this place without repeating that cut and paste, I'll just go to this icon known as undo and click on it. Remember, you can use the shortcut key Ctrl+Z. Once you do that, it will go out. That is the last action. If you click it again, it will now return it to the initial state where it was. And if you want to redo what you just did, you can use the second icon known as redo button. Let me click on it. I'll have to click the second one so that it will come down to this place. This is basically all you need to know in order to start to use Microsoft Word documents. I am going to stop here for this session. Join me in session 2, where we'll continue to teach you other things concerning Microsoft Word documents. Until next time, keep learning. Welcome back to this tutorial. This is lesson 2 of Microsoft Word for beginners. We are going to learn formatting in MS Word 2021. My name is Pat from Primevox Academy. Let's get started. For us to begin, we are going to use the same Word documents that we have used in our previous session. So let us open it. Once the document is open, you can remember this from the previous line on our intro, that is getting started with MS Word. If you have not watched the video, please check the link in the description box below. Now, in this particular lesson, we are going to learn a whole lot that will help you to use MS Word as a professional document creator. We are going to learn about font type, font size, color, bold, italic, underline, alignment, line spacing, paragraph, bullets, and a whole lot. We are going to do this in a way that you may have not seen before. So please watch till the end. Okay? The very first one we are going to start with is font type. Assuming this is our heading, or let me just type another heading. Okay, so this is our heading. If I want to change the font type, I will have to come to this location where we'll have Calibri. Okay? But for us to be able to see what I am doing, I am going to first of all change the font size. In order to do this, you will first highlight the text. In our previous lesson, I have taught you how to highlight a text. Just from the left side, click and hold the mouse and drag it. Once you have highlighted the text, you will come to this place where we'll have font size. Immediately you point your mouse pointer there, it will show you the name. So you can use shortcut key Ctrl+Shift+P. So if I click down, I can choose any size of my choice. You can see as I move, the text continues to grow or increase. So let me use 28. So we now have a new size for this particular text. Now, if I want to change the font type, I will leave it as highlighted, then come to this place and click using this arrow. Once I do that, you will see different font type. Okay, so as we are moving, you will notice that the font is changing. So you choose any one of your choice. Assuming this is what I like, I'll just click on it. We have a thick heading. We are using area black. You can as well change it if you don't like this one. Let me choose another one. Maybe something like this. Okay, so this is how to change font type. And again, if you want to color it, if you want to add color to it, remember I said you must first of all highlight it. This is to tell MS Word that you want the effect to apply to this particular text. Once it is highlighted, you will now come to color here and you can apply any color of your choice. Okay, let me give it this red color. Now the next thing we are going to learn is bold, italic, and underline. Let us create new text for this particular lesson. Okay, with this text, I can apply any of these commands. Let me first of all increase the font. So I'll highlight, change the font from 11, that is font size, from 11 to 20. Now it is big enough. I want to apply bold to it. What I will do is to highlight it. After highlighting, I will come to this B. This B means bold. You can also use the shortcuts, Ctrl B. So immediately you click on it, you will notice that the size of this text is no longer the same with this one because we applied bold to this. Another way of doing this is just by highlighting. Immediately you highlight, bold and other frequently used commands will appear here. So if I click now, it will make it bold. Okay, Now for italic, I will do the same thing, highlight, come to this I, or you can press Ctrl I from your keyboard. Immediately you do it, it will slant to the right. You can see the difference as I click on this italic icon, okay? So you may want to use this to emphasize on a point. The next one is underline. All you will need to do is to highlight the text, then press this your icon. Immediately you do that, it will give you underline. There are other types of underline and you can access them through this place. That is, if you want double underline, dash underline, dotted underline, and so on. This is how to apply both italic and underline operations. The next thing we are going to learn in this particular lesson is text alignment. So for the text alignment, you decide whether you want your text to shift to the center, to the left, or to the right. Currently, this text is aligned to the left. So if I want it to be at the center, I will have to highlight it. After highlighting, I will click on this button. Immediately I click here, it will move it to the center. If I want, I can also align it to the right, if that is what you want. Okay. Now we'll have another one that is called justify. We are not going to notice what justify will do for this particular text. Justify works best when you have large amounts of text. For example, if I increase the number of this text like so, let me also bring in more text. I just use copy and paste operation that will land in previous lesson. You can still go back and check it. So if you look at this text, you will notice that this left side is aligned in a straight line. You can see it, but the right side is not like that. So if you want to achieve the same thing at this right side, what you will do is justify. How do you do that? Just highlight the entire text. After highlighting, you press Ctrl J, or you come to this place and click on it. Immediately you click it, you will see that it is now aligned to the right. This last line is not aligned to because we do not have enough text that will push it to this alignment. Although some program has what we call force alignment that will enforce this alignment, but we do not need to do that. I hope you understand. Please click on the subscription button if you have not subscribed on this particular video. This is a way of supporting me. Also, remember to click the like button so that YouTube will recommend this video to many others. The next thing we are going to learn is line spacing and paragraph spacing. If you look at this text, you will see that the lines in between each of them is a kind of tiny. Let me also increase the whole text. Let's see how it looks like. If you are typing a formal document, don't use 11 font size. You should increase it to 14 or 13 depending on the content of what you are typing. So I am going to use 14 at this time. Now, if I want to increase the line spacing because it will be too close to each other and difficult to read when printed, so you will need to increase the line spacing. Okay, so to do this, all I need to do is to highlight the entire text. After highlighting, I will then go to this icon known as line spacing. You can see it. You will see this icon immediately after justify. Okay, so they are all grouped into paragraph section. So once I click here, I will then choose if I want 1.0 line spacing or 1.15 or 1.5. I hope you can see how they increase as I move the mouse button. Okay, so for a formal document, you can use 1.5 or 2.0. Let me leave it at 2.0. So this is exactly how to do line spacing. And if you want, you can go into the paragraph section by clicking on this icon. If you click here, it will open the paragraph dialog box for you to now choose all the setup that you want. How you want, whether you want indentation, alignment, spacing and all of that. You can see that we are using 8 points as our spacing. Okay. And apart from this paragraph dialog box, any other dialog box that you would like to open, just like this font dialog box, all you will need to do is to click on this little icon at the bottom right, and it will open the dialog box for you to make changes. There are a whole lot of changes here that you can make. I will show you one after another. So keep watching. Now, the next thing we are going to learn is bullet and numbering. When preparing a document and you have a need to create lists, that is list of items, assuming this is a list of items where I have share, like, maybe I can include comments. If I want to make this thing as a list or as a numbers, all I will need to do is to highlight the text. Once the text is highlighted, I will then go to bullet and numbering. So you can find them from here, from this particular place. Here we'll have bullets. So I will click here from the arrow, then choose the type of bulleted list that I want. I can use these dots, this circle, this tick, this arrow. Anyone you like, the choice is yours. Okay. And if it is not bullets that you would like to use, you can also make use of numbers. Let us try it and see how numbers work. So assuming this is what I have, I will just highlight, then come to the next icon where we'll have numbering. So here I'll have to choose whether I want numbers with dots or numbers with close parentheses. I can also choose if I would like to use Roman figure or alphabet. This is alphabet, capital letter, alphabet, small letter, and a whole lot of that. Just any one of your choice, you click it and it will apply that for you. Okay, so if I don't want it, I can use the undo function to return back to the initial state. Let me go back, then choose number. Okay, let me choose this number. And what happens next is that if you press enter now from the keyboard, it will automatically insert the next number for you. How cool is that? Okay, I just entered these 2 lines of text in order for us to practicalize the next lesson, which is subscript and superscript. So let me increase the 2 lines of text. Assuming we have this, and I want to make a superscript. That is, I want to write 2 raised to power 4. You know, you may be wondering, how do you do this? But it is very simple. All you will need to do is to highlight the one that you want to apply the effect to, which is 4. Once I highlight it, I will then go up to this place. You can see it here. So immediately you click on it, it will become 2 raised to power 4, which is superscript. And for subscript, I will just highlight this and then come to subscript. You can see it here. You can use the shortcut key, which is Control equal mark. So if I click on this now, it will become subscript. Okay, I hope you know what this means. Let me know in the comment section. Another thing that is also worth noting here is change case. Take for instance, if you look at this text, let me bring this one down. You know, if you want to move something down, you just put your cursor there and press enter. So if you look at this text, for example, I want to change the case of this text. Let me increase the font size first. Now, for us to change case, what do we mean by changing case? You have something in small letter and you want to change it to capital letter. It is not difficult to do. Okay. Once you highlight the text, you come to this place where we have capital A and small a. Then you click on it. You will see different cases where we now have sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, and we also have toggle case here. This highlighted text is already in sentence case. How do I know? The very first letter here is in capital, that is sentence case. So if I want everything to be in small letters, I'll just click this one, lowercase. If I want everything to be in capitals, I'll click on this, uppercase. And it continues that way. So you can just play with it and learn how some of these things work following this tutorial as you do your practice. And finally, for this lesson, we are going to learn about other additional text effects. Take for instance this particular text. If I want to apply other effects to it, I can do that simply in MS Word documents. That is graphical looking effects. So after highlighting, I'll come to this icon where we have text effect and typography. So once I click here, I can decide to apply shadow to this text. So you choose any type of shadow you would like. You can also decide to turn it to outline, or you add reflection, or you add glow, or whatever text effects that you like to apply. So they are all here included. And that brings us to the end of this lesson. Please remember to subscribe in order to support Primevox Academy. Do not forget to share the link to this video with your loved ones. Also like it so that YouTube will recommend it to many others. The link to the lesson 3 will also be in the description box, and I will definitely put the links to any other related videos or relevant resources in the description box below. So do well to check it out. Until next time, keep learning. Welcome back to this tutorial. This is lesson 3 of Microsoft Word for beginners. We are going to learn inserting images and shapes in MS Word 2021. This is part from Primevox Academy. Let us open the previous documents that we have been using for this particular tutorial. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to insert pictures, resize and position images, wrapping text around images, and of course, adding page borders. Please watch till the end so that you don't mix anything. For us to begin, let's start with inserting pictures. Assuming I want to use picture in this particular document, the very first thing I will need to do is to place my cursor where I want the picture to appear. So for this, I will click here. So my cursor is now here. You remember that cursor is the blinking feature in MS Word documents. For us to do this, I will go to the Insert menu, click on it, then choose Pictures. When I click on Pictures, I will select on this device. This means I will be inserting picture from this particular computer that I'm using. And if your system is connected to the internet, you can insert pictures online. For this, let me click on this device. Once I click that, I will navigate to the folder where I want to get my pictures and select the picture that I want to use. Assuming this is the picture I want to use, I will click on it, then click on Insert button. Immediately I do that, it is going to insert that picture for me. You can see the picture. So after inserting this picture, it will now bring us to the second unit of lesson that we need to take today, which is resizing and positioning image. So if you look at this picture, you will notice there are dots here. We'll call these things nodes. So I will use it to resize this picture. For me to do that, I will just go to any of them, click and drag. As we are clicking and dragging, it will reduce the size of that image. So this is the image now. I can also decide to reduce it further. You can see. So the image is now small enough to fit into this document. That is how to insert an image. Let me also do it again in case you did not get my step the first time. Just place your cursor where you want it to appear. Go to Insert menu, click on Pictures, then click on this device. From here, you select any picture of your choice, then click on Insert button. Voila! You will see the image inside your documents. Okay? Apart from pictures, there are other images you can add into your document. Let's use shape for instance. If you want to insert shape into your document, all you will need to do is to also place the cursor where you want it to appear. Then from the insert, you will see that the next we'll have after pictures is shape. So you can click here and choose any shape of your choice. Assuming I want to draw a rectangle, or I want to draw something else. Let's assume it is circle or oval that I want to draw. I'll just click on it, then come to the text area, click and drag. It will give me oval. Remember, if you hold down the control key as you drag, it is going to give you perfect circle. Immediately you have a shape selected, these two bars is going to change so that it will show you the property of that selected shape. So from here you can change the shape color. Assuming I can change it to this color. You can also increase the line width. Look at shape outline. From here, line width, then I'll choose another line width. I may also decide to change the color of the line. You can see the line changing. So just get your hands dirty and play around with some of these tools, and you will get to learn more as you practice. There are a whole lot of shapes here that you can apply. You will understand them as you practice. And if you would like to write into any of these shapes, all you will need to do is to right click on it and then click on add text. Once you click on it, the cursor will appear inside so that you can now type whatever text that you want. I hope you get that. So the next unit of lesson we need to learn is how to wrap text around image. For example, with this image, I can wrap text around it. So I am going to copy it, or you do cut, whichever one. So go to the particular location where I want to use it. Assuming this is the place I want to use it, I'll place my cursor and do paste. So you will notice that the object, the image is above the text. So what you will need to do is to use this small icon here, the layout option, to choose how you want it to appear. I can choose up and down, or choose squared. You can see what square looks like. You can as well change it to through or behind text. It will not be behind text. I hope you understand. Let me use the undo function to return to the previous state. Let me use tight, which will now wrap the text around the objects. I hope you understand. Okay. And finally, the last lesson we are going to have in this particular session is adding a page border. After creating your document, assuming you are writing a term paper or a kind of document that you would like to design the first page. So for us to do this, I will go to design menu and then go all the way to the right where I will see page borders. Once I click on that, it will now ask me to choose page border. For this, you can use box or shadow, 3D, or custom. So assuming I am choosing box, for instance, then you choose the style you want. Let me use this style. Then apply to the whole document. Okay. So once I click OK now, I will have page border around this particular page or the whole document. So if you don't like this style, you can go back and choose another one. So from this 3D, you can come down to art here and choose other styles of page border. So once you choose the one you like, you click OK. It will change page border. Let me zoom out so that you will see what I mean. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, because I will continue to update this tutorial. I will show you how you can apply this page border only to the first page. And for other details that I may miss out in this series, I will continue to teach them one after another. So ensure to subscribe. Don't forget, you will find the continuation of this video in the description box below. Until next time, keep learning. Welcome back to this tutorial. This is lesson 4 of Microsoft Word for beginners. We are going to learn inserting table in this MS Word 2021. My name is Pat from Primevox Academy. let's get started. So I am not going to use this particular document that we have been using. Let me change it for this lesson. Of course, you know what to do. You go to File and then click on New. From this New, you will see blank document. Immediately I click on blank document, it is going to open a fresh document for us. Okay, so with this fresh document, I can now type what I will use for this tutorial. We are going to learn everything about table, how to insert table, formatting table cells, or formatting table itself, including adding columns and rows and deleting them. So do not skip anything. Watch till the end as we go through this. Now, we are going to start by entering our table. So for me to do this, I'll place the cursor where I want my table to appear. Then go to the Insert menu. From the Insert menu, I'll click on Table. Now, when you click on Table, you are going to decide the number of columns and the number of rows you would like to use. So for this, I am going to use 4 columns, and then I will scroll down and move down the button to choose the number of rows that I want. As you can see, we have 4x7 table. So it means it's going to insert for us 4 columns and 7 rows. Or I can even reduce it to 6 rows. Okay. Now, immediately I click on that, I will have my table. Very simple. Is that not so? So if you want to populate your table, example, I can write something here. Let's say number, items, quantity, then amount. So this is how to populate table. Let me also populate this side. 1, 2, 3. I am using the arrow keys to move around. I hope you understand. Then this is number 5. So this is basically how to insert table in MS Word documents. Then the next lesson we need to learn is formatting table. If you want to format table, you can format the entire table at once, or you format per cell. Let us format the entire table. If you watch, you will see there is a cross here at the top left. So once I click on it, it will automatically select the entire table. The next thing I will do is to click on table design. Once I click on table design, click here to drop more options. So we'll see different types of designs. Okay, so I may choose any design of my choice. For example, if I click here, my table will look like this. If you don't plan to print it in color, you can just choose the black color. So let me choose this or this, any one of your choice. So this is how to format table. And if you intend to format only one cell, all you will need to do is to highlight the cell. You can see immediately I position my mouse pointer, you click to highlight. After that, you then go to shading. Remember, I am still under table design menu. So from shading, you choose any color of your choice. You can see the colors changing. Once you select it, you have successfully colored a particular cell. Now, the next thing we need to know is about column width and row height. Remember, the vertical alignment is known as column, while the horizontal ones are called row. You can see that this column is supposed to be small, while this one should be bigger. So for us to change this, I'll just place my mouse pointer here and wait, or you'll be shifting the mouse until it turns to double-headed arrow. Once it is like that, you click and drag in order to make it smaller or bigger, depending on the type of contents you are creating. I hope you understand. The next thing we are going to learn is adding rows and columns. If you want to add row or column to an existing table, you can do that by just indicating where you want the column to appear. So assuming I want the column to appear here or here, I will have to place my cell pointer here in the quantity column. Once it is there, I will then go to layout. If you watch, you will notice that we also have another layout here, but this is not the one we are talking about. This second layout will come out immediately you have table in your document. So from this layout, I will click insert to the left or insert to the right, depending where you want the column to appear. So if I click insert to the right, I am going to have another column here at the right hand side. And if it is row that you want to insert, like I have number 5 here, if you want to have another row, just place your cell pointer anywhere in this row, and then still in layout menu, you then click insert below. Insert below. It will create another row for you. And if you want a faster option, you can just use your tab key. That is the tab key from the keyboard. Once it gets to the last one, if you press it again, it is going to create another row for you. There are a whole lot you can do with table. You can decide to split cell or split table, or you can convert text to table and a whole lot of things. Just subscribe to this channel because I will continue to teach you even after we have ended this series. I hope you get it. And finally, the last thing we are going to learn in this lesson is about deleting row and column, or even if you want to delete the entire table. All you will need to do is to indicate the table you would like to delete. Assuming this is the column that I want to delete, I will just place the cell pointer or the cursor there. Then from the layout, I will click on this delete option, then choose to delete just column. It will delete that column. If it is row that you want to delete, you do the same thing. You say delete rows to delete that one. If you want to delete more rows at the same time, you highlight them. You can see that I have selected 2, or let me select 3. After selecting them, we now say delete rows. It will delete all of them. And just in case you want to delete the entire table, you can just click on this to activate this table, then come to the delete and press delete table. You can as well use the keyboard by pressing delete. That is the end for this particular lesson. You will find the continuation of this video series in the description box below. Of course, with other related videos. Do not forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep learning. Welcome back to this tutorial. This is lesson 5 of Microsoft Word for beginners. It is going to be the last for this video series, but do not worry. We are going to continue to bring useful videos from MS Word to you. In this lesson 5, we are going to cover all other basics that are just remaining, from inserting page numbers, headers and footers, printing, and page setup. Please watch till the end and do not skip this video so that you will get all the juice that are coming from here. My name is Pat from Primevox Academy. If you are ready, let's get started. So let me open this very first document. If you have a lot of pages in your documents and you want to print them, or even if you are not printing them, it can be confusing. You may not know what number of page you are currently using. Okay, so it is good that you apply page numbers to your document. Remember that page number is different from numbering. You understand? This one is numbering. So for us to apply page number, all you will need to do is to go to insert menu. From the insert menu, you click on page numbers. Look at it from here. So once you click on it, you then choose the location where you want your page numbers to appear, whether you like it to be at the top of the page or bottom of the page. You can also decide to put it by the left, center, or right. So it's all your choice. You understand? So for now, let me apply it to the top center. So once I click on this, it will apply page number for us here. So this first one is page 1, while the next one is page 2. And if you don't want a page number in your first page, all you will need to do is to click this button that says different first page. Immediately you click that, there won't be any number in your first page. But here is a problem. You can see that this is also starting from page 2 instead of page 1. How do you fix this? All you will have to do is to come to these page numbers and then click on format page numbers. It will open a dialog box for you. From here, you then state 0 instead of 1. So you change this one to 0. By that, that first page will now be 0. So this one would now be 1. If you have another page, that one will become 2, and so on. I hope you understand. Please remember to subscribe if you are getting value from this teaching. The next thing we are going to learn is about inserting headers and footers. Of course, header will be at the top and footer will be at the bottom. When you are done with this place, you will have to click on this close header and footer. Page numbers are also inserted in the header and footer section. So if I close it now, my document will no longer be filled. But now for us to apply header and footer, you do the same thing. When you click on insert, you do not need to go and click on page numbers in order to access header and footer. No, you can go straight to footer or header depending on what you want. For this, I am going to use header. Then I'll click here to select this type. It's asking me to type here, so I may just type volume 1 version 3. At the end, I will close it here. This thing you are seeing here will appear in all the pages of this document. If you have any question, you have any problem regarding this, drop them in the comment section and I will personally respond to them. Now, the next lesson we are going to take is page setup. After typing your document, you may wish to print it. But before you print, you will need to set up your page to be sure that it will appear well when printed. So, for you to do page setup, you will need to go to Layout. From this layout, you click on page setup. You can set them one after another here by changing the margin. The margin is usually top 1, left 1, bottom 1, right 1. That is the amount of space that will be left around your document. You can as well choose the paper size you want to use, whether it will be letter, A4, or A3, or legal. Legal is usually longer. If you want, you can just get into the page setup dialog box so that you will see everything at once. We have portrait and landscape here. Portrait is when you want your work to appear in vertical form. If you change it to landscape, it's going to appear in horizontal form. You can as well change the paper, as I have explained before. You choose the type of paper you want to use. It can be A4 as the most popular. When you are done, you click OK. So that is how to do page setup. Okay, it's now in landscape. I don't want landscape. I want portraits. So I can change it from here. After your page setup, the next thing you will do is print setup. From that print setup, you can now print. How do you do that? You go to File as if you want to print. So once you click on File, you click on Print. From this print, you will now see your document. Look at it. We have 2 pages here. So from here, you select the name of the printer. You will always get it from the printer that is connected to your device. Then you decide whether you want to print everything or current page, or you go to custom and select the particular number of pages that you would like to print. After that, You may leave some of these ones like this because they are a bit advanced and the scope is not covered in this video because this is basically for beginners. So we are still using A4 paper. Once that is done, you proceed to print. You click on this print button and immediately your job or your documents will be printed out on a paper as a hard copy. I hope you got value from this video. Please subscribe in order to support me. Click on the like button so that YouTube will recommend this video to many others. Don't forget to check the description box for other related videos. Until next time, keep learning.